Meeting to order, Oconee County Council, October 2nd. It is 6 p.m. We'll start as usual with the public comment session. Our first speaker tonight is Kathy.
Ellert.
We were trying to decipher the handwriting. Sorry about that. Ehlert?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Good evening. I would first like to thank the council for letting me speak tonight. My name is Kathy Ellert, and I'm the third vice chair of the Oconee County Democratic Party. But I come to you tonight not as a Democrat, but as a concerned citizen of Oconee County. It has come to my attention that a number of candidate signs have been removed from public land, and that many of those removed signs are for the state and local Democratic candidates. In a few instances, all the Democratic candidate signs were removed and replaced with a single sign for a Republican candidate. This is reprehensible. The success of our local, state, and federal governments depend on a well-informed electorate, an electorate that knows all the candidates that are running for office. And this can be done in many ways, but one of the most efficient ways for a candidate to communicate with the electorate is through campaign signs. When individuals remove legally placed campaign signs, they undermine this election process and they steal from the candidate. As I'm sure you all know, each campaign sign costs about $10, meaning that an individual who removes or vandalizes a dozen signs has effectively stolen $120 from that candidate. Although I believe that Democratic candidates are being targeted more than Republican candidates, this is not a partisan issue, and I do not want to stoke partisan fighting. It is in the best interest of every candidate and for every citizen that legally placed campaign material is respected and remains untouched until the conclusion of an election. I'm not here to single out any particular campaign, nor do I believe that somebody running for office would behave in this manner. However, at least one person in this county is interfering with the election by removing campaign material. This poor behavior not only impacts the candidate that loses their material, but also their opponent, making the opponent look like they are complicit in this action. I stand in front of the council to ask that each member on the council and in this chamber to commit to speaking with their local friends or family, as well as loyal constituents, to vocalize their distaste for these actions that hurt everyone involved and disrespects the whole election process. This petty and childish behavior distracts from the importance of respectful disagreement, from the opportunity for candidates to discuss their positions and allow the electorate to decide who is most qualified. The late Senator John McCain said it best when he wrote, "We weaken our greatness when we confuse our patriotism with tribal rivalries, when we doubt the power of our ideals rather than trust them to be the great force for change that they have always been." Let us all hold our fellow county residents to this standard, to allow the ideals of the campaigns to be criteria we use to evaluate the candidate, and to not condone the type of loyalty to a candidate that would elicit this type of behavior. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Mr. Jerome, you're done, right? Oh, okay.
I'll be brief. I just wanted to respond to the previous speaker that as chairman of the Oconee County Republican Party, I agree that it is inappropriate to steal any signs, remove any signs. When I found out about this, which was last week while I was on vacation, we contacted campaigns to find out whether there was any knowledge of this, which we were told there was not, and we have no reason to believe otherwise. So I just want to go on the record that the Oconee County Republican Party does not endorse, taking any signs. At the same time, we don't believe we have any reason to believe that any of our people, did that. So I'll just leave it at that.
Well, thank you.
Bill Jerome.
Tony Adams?
I'm Tony Adams, and I don't represent any particular group, just the thoughts of a lot of the residents of the northern and southern part of Oconee County. The discussion on the county comprehensive plan at the last council meeting proved very interesting. It showed the divergent views of different areas and different factions of this county very well. On one hand, we had the opinion that this was put on the shelf and collected dust and was not really worth the cost of the paper to print it on. On the other hand, there's a certain faction that seems to think it's the Bible that determines future development in Oconee County. Now, I assume that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Now, I know what assuming can do to you because it's bit me in behind too many times over the years. In old age, I'm learning not to assume too much. So, what I'd like to do, since none of us are guaranteed tomorrow, is for somebody to remember when you're revising this comprehensive plan to include the infrastructure and service needs in the northern and southern part of Oconee County. If for no other reason, to eliminate a high-quality excuse for the groups that oppose this logical, common-sense development. Now, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. And Mr. Barnett.
There's my prop. It goes everywhere with me. It's something I live by. I've got a lot invested in this to protect and defend the Constitution of these United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. It's not just here in Oconee County, but this is where we live. We have domestic enemies at work. Main thing here in Oconee County is private property rights. That is the biggie. Let me explain something to you. Put this in simple terms. My land is one of my bank accounts. Literally, my bank account. How dare anybody use county government to seize control of my bank account? Enough said about that. Now, it takes guts to be a stooge, and it works out really good because the rural community of Oconee County understands who represents us and who is making a concerted effort to rule us. Big, big difference. And it takes guts to recognize the old Chinese proverb that says, the fish rots from the head down. We had county employees riding around here in tricked out Tahoes. I suspect some of them still riding in the tricked out Tahoes. Takes time to solve this situation. Megalomania was kind of contagious. We saw that for several individuals that are no longer with us. Thank God and Greyhound, they're gone. Now the sewer. I'd like to say a few words about the sewer. This council should never have been in the sewer business to begin with. We have a sewer authority here in Oconee County that is headed up by competent people that do this every day. And what put us in the sewer business of the county council and the people of Oconee County in the second sewer business was one councilman's hate for an individual that was running the sewer authority, a very capable individual that is since retired. And there's another old Chinese saying that hate destroys the vessel. Thank God this councilman is no longer with us. But that's all I got to say about it for now. But remember what I said about property rights. Our land is one of our bank accounts. And we that have committed, the only crime we've committed is owning land. Remember that. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are all the folks who signed up for public comment this evening. Any council members' comments?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
All right, if you've got about 4 things, I'll go over them real quick. I want to apologize to Mr. Owen. He wrote an article in the paper saying I owed him an apology about the water line. And after Salem came up here and made an excellent presentation, he insisted it was for Ms. Kamick. He still insists that. Ms. Kamick wasn't here 20 years ago. He was in Florida. So I apologize that I did not explain to him, and I apologize that he did not bother to read the engineering studies from Allen and other engineering firms stating the exact facts of the sewer line. So that's my apology. The other one is, there's a rumor going around, circulating, that I'm going to quit. Told the paper, Fidel Castro couldn't kill me in '69, I ain't going nowhere. The other one is, there's some people in this room that's circulating another rumor about me and my brother doing the donating. We donate a lot, McCall Brothers do, for the parking lot for the bicycle trail atop of Stump House Tunnel. And they said, somebody in this room said, well, Wayne can't do it because he's got to have permission of council. Let me tell y'all something right now. McCall Brothers Incorporated does not need permission to donate for a free parking lot. We do not need permission to give concrete curbs for the town of West Union. We do not need permission to offer our services to the town of Walhalla for free. We do not need permission to stay up to 8 o'clock at night getting the town of Walhalla's water pump ready to go. And I certainly do not need permission to donate and help West Union have their new community center. This is ludicrous. What McCall Brothers does on their own with their own money has nothing to do. It comes from my heart and my brother's heart. The other thing, the last one, I'm going to make a motion tonight that we affirm federal and state law concerning, under the law, we have to provide a safe and secure workplace for all our employees, everybody. Now, so we have to provide them where they do not come to work feeling harassed, they do not fear for their job. If they say something, this is common sense. If we know of an action taking place and we do nothing about it, then we are condoning the action and therefore we are a party to the action saying it's okay to do this. It's wrong. So I'm going to make a motion tonight that this council confirm federal and state law to say we as a council, we do set policy, confirm that our employees, we owe it to our employees to have a safe and secure workplace, and we will not tolerate any kind of goings on that will make our employees feel insecure or nervous or make them feel like they do not want to come to work. We owe it to our employees. Thank you.
Is that a motion?
Yes, it is a motion.
Well, not under comment members. You can bring it up under new business, please.
Okay, you got me.
Sorry. Any other council member comments, please?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Going back to the campaign sign stealing, I think everybody who runs for office hates when people steal their signs. And I had probably 25%. I think I bought 200 signs. I probably had 25% or more of them stolen when I was campaigning. But I don't know that it was all politically motivated. I think sometimes people just don't like to see all those signs out on the road sometimes. I'm sure all candidates who've put road signs out have had them stolen, but I personally think it is a crime, and hopefully somebody will catch who's doing it, but it's one of those difficult to police type of crimes, and certainly condemn that behavior and hope that who is doing it does get caught.
Any other comments? Okay, before we proceed, I'd like to take a little detour. We'd like to offer this evening our appreciation to Mrs. Robin Courtright. Okay, Oconee County Council and Administration would like to take this moment to recognize Ms. Robin Courtright for her dedication and 10 years of service as the Procurement Director for Oconee County. In her decade with the county, Robin has provided each department with professional guidance in all purchasing matters as well as contract management. She also was a huge contributor to the successful completion of the new detention center for the Oconee Sheriff's Office and has been an integral part of the various equipment, vehicle, and professional services purchases for the entire county. Robin also spearheaded the P-Card program that continues to increase county savings to this day and obtained her Certified Public Procurement Officer certification during her tenure. We'd like to thank you, Ms. Courtright, for your service and wish you the best in your upcoming retirement. And I say, hey, retirement's the way to go. Okay, on that note, please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. Mr. Root, please.
Yes, ma'am. Pray with me if you'd like. Your name and portion, of course. Father, thank you for this time, for us gathering together, having lives, having the ability to communicate with one another and have assemblies like this and have that freedom. Sincerely pray that this meeting, well, not as any one of us individually might deem well, but as you would, guided by love for our neighbor, by your wisdom and insight, by clarity and thought and speech. Thank you for Robin and the time that she has served this county and served the public in this county. All of us would have that attitude of public service and be truly civil servants to the best of our abilities and by your strength.
Thank you. Mr. Martin, would you like to lead us in a pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have 2 sets of minutes to approve. Let's start with the regular meeting, September 18th.
Motion approved. Second.
Any comments, changes, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
September 28th, our special meeting.
Make a motion to approve them. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Martin, your report, please.
All right, the administrative report for October 2nd. Tonight we have a public hearing for the following. Ordinance 2018-14, that's amending Chapter 32 regarding the naming of subdivisions. Ordinance 28-26, amending Chapter 32 relating to minimum lot sizes. Ordinance 2018-28 is the transfer of approximately 5 acres to the school district of Oconee County. Ordinance 2018-29, adding an ex officio member to the Agricultural Advisory Board as per their recommendation and request. Third reading on the following: Ordinance 2018-26, 2018-28, 2018-29. We have second reading on the following: Ordinance 2018-31. It's amending Chapter 38. It's making changes to the Fair Play Village sub-district. There's one action item tonight. It's a request from the Sheriff's Department in the amount of $34,997.95. This is to begin a new 5-year contract with Exxon Enterprises for 35 cameras, which include mounting hardware, the docks, the associated software, the storage for the camera's footage. We just completed a 5-year contract, and with this new agreement, all existing units that the sheriff has will be replaced, plus there'll be 2 added, and also there'll be hardware that will automatically turn on the body cameras when the blue lights are engaged and the tasers are activated. And that will be for a 5-year contract. I think you have all that in your packet. Tonight we need to discuss and authorize the council chair to execute and deliver a joiner agreement with Frostel LLC, High Tech Mold Carolina LLC, and Baxter Tech LLC to join the previous fee in lieu of tax agreement between Oconee County and Baxter Manufacturing. And in executive session tonight, we have 4 items. 2 of these are to receive legal advice regarding the Sewer South Transfer and Operation Agreement with the Oconee Joint Regional Sewer Authority and property adjoining the Oconee County Quarry. 2 discussion matters with the economic development. One of those is Project Aztec. The other one is Project Plan 4. There's first and final reading for Resolution 2018, authorizing the execution and delivery of an intergovernmental transfer and operation agreement between Oconee County and the Joint Regional Sewer Authority related to the system extending between Golden Corner Commerce Park and the Conoroe Sewer Treatment Plant. And when we get finished that, we will adjourn. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Public hearing, ordinance 2018-14. No one has signed up for any of our public hearings this evening. Although 2018-14 is up for public hearing, we will not have third reading of it this evening. If anyone would wish to comment at this point in time, you may. If you'd like to submit written comments to our clerk, you may do that as well. So having said all that, we'll close public hearing on 2018-14. 2018-26 is the ordinance amending Chapter 32 with regards to land development and subdivision regulations, specifically in relation to clarifying language relating to minimum lot sizes. Again, no one signed for public hearing 2018-26. If anyone would like to comment right now, you may. You may submit written comments to our clerk. And with that, we'll close out 2018-26. 2018-28 is the 4.946 acres to the school district. No one signed up for that either. Anybody wish to comment now? Written comments to the clerk? We'll close 2018-28. And 2018-29 is the ex officio member for the Ag Advisory Board. Anybody wish to comment on that now? Written comments can be handed to our clerk, and we'll close that one out as well. So let's have third reading of 2018-26.
Motion approved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2018-28.
So move. Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 2018-29.
So move. Second.
Any discussion on that one? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading, 2018-31. Those are changes to the Fairplay Village Subdistrict and Fairplay Village Center overlay.
Approve. Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
We don't have any first readings. Action items, body cameras for the sheriff's office.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion on that?
Yes, Madam Chair, I had a quick question. I'm not gonna act like I know anything about body cameras nor about being arrested, so, I got tased in college one time for fun, but, when this says that it acts when the blue lights come on, obviously there's stuff that leads up to that oftentimes through cases it's nice to have on there. Is that the only time that they're on, is initiating a shot of a taser, or they should be on the whole time, right? I just
Yeah,
wanted a
I'm like you.
clarification. I imagine that they're always rolling and,
I've never been tasered myself, so.
Hello, I'm Kevin Davis, Oconee Sheriff's Department Chief Deputy. This is a new feature that Axon Incorporated has come out with as far as activating when the blue lights come on. Normally, the officers would manually activate the device whenever they turn the blue lights on to start recording. It has a 30-second pre-record that's always recording 30-second loops on it. So our policy and state law says that whenever our officers get out on call, they have to turn those on. So same thing goes with traffic stops.
that's exactly what that explains a little bit more. So it is always on its 30-second loop when the blue lights come on or the taser's activated. Does it holds it on the hard drive?
Yes.
Is that what? Okay.
Yes. And then they download it to the docking station at the end of their shift.
Awesome. Okay.
Any other discussion on this one? All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and authorize the council chair to execute and deliver jointer agreements for Frostel LLC, High Tech Mold Carolina LLC, and Baxter Tech LLC, whereby each of the reference companies agrees to join in and be bound by the fee in lieu of tax agreement entered into by and between Oconee County and Baxter Manufacturing, effective December 31st, 2016.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any unfinished business? Any new business?
Yes, ma'am. I'd still like to make the motion that we affirm, this council affirms policy set forth by federal and state law for a safe and secure workplace for our employees, and that we as a council will not tolerate or condone such activities or actions and keep them to ourselves. If something comes out, we set policy. As a body that sets policy, we have the obligation to report said actions to the appropriate people above us. That's my motion.
Second.
Madam Chair.
Well, I was going to ask, do we need to add this as an
You do.
agenda item?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to add this as an agenda item.
It could just be simply stated, a motion to amend the agenda to add Mr. McCall's motion as he just stated it.
Make a motion to amend the agenda for Mr.
Any discussion on this? All in favor to amend the agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so back to your motion. We have a motion and a second affirming our commitment to providing a safe work environment.
That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. McCall. I guess sometimes we need to be reminded. Any other discussion, or any discussion on this?
What, do we not already abide by this? Or we just,
I think we do. I think he's just reminding us. We had an incident.
do we need to discuss that in executive session?
I don't believe so. But,
Who's, like, we had an incident, like,
no.
y'all know about an incident,
Yes. Yes.
and it's not needed for anybody else to know about the incident?
Unless you want to, I'd be glad to discuss it with you, but I don't think we need to make a ordeal out of it.
Okay.
So,
Does this policy apply to council members? Because I've heard threats come from council members before, and I think it's interesting that now we're concerned about this. But I mean, I'm totally in favor of it. I think that anytime there's a threat, it should be investigated. Absolutely.
okay.
It covers the respect to our employees that we have under us and that Rick has under him.
And should cover all council members as well, I would assume.
I'm exempted.
Any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we need to recess to executive session to receive legal advice and discuss a contractual matter regarding the Sewer South Transfer and Operation Agreement with the Oconee Joint Regional Sewer Authority. To receive legal advice and discuss a contractual matter related to property acquisition adjoining the Oconee County Rock Quarry. To discuss an economic development matter titled Project Aztec, and to discuss a second economic development matter titled Project Plan 4.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor of recessing to executive session?
It's
Aye.
not
Aye.
6:35
Aye.
yet, we need to wait. Aye.
Convene, please.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No action was taken in executive session, but there are a few issues that need to be addressed.
Yes, Madam Chair, in relation to item number 2 in executive session, this regards rock quarry property or property adjacent to the rock quarry. We need a motion to direct the administrator and county attorney to finalize terms of a purchase and sale agreement for the orange property adjacent to the rock quarry.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair, a second motion related to property adjacent to the rock quarry would be to direct staff to begin negotiations on purchase terms for the remainder of the property discussed that is adjacent to the rock quarry.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair, we had no other motions that would stem out of executive session. Based on discussion, I think a motion to postpone the reading of Resolution 2018-11 until the October 15th meeting would be in order.
Motion to postpone.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
That was it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.